Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Sorry I'm a couple seconds late here. I just got a new camera, so I was getting all the camera settings right and ready to go, and I think I'm having a little bit of a lag issue. So if you guys notice that, say something in the comments. I did my best to kind of get that fixed, but I ran out of time. So if it becomes a real issue, say something and I will see what I can do, or I might disconnect and then join up again in a second. And of course there's Millie. Hi Millie. Okay, so welcome to Lunchtime Live. It is episode 69. And for those of you who are new, Lunchtime Live is basically my video newsletter. So I'm going to talk about all this new at Stitches and Crafts and you know, what's up, all kind of stuff, and I'll end with a quick demo. And this demo is going to be a project from Art is Spree. Getting an error here. YouTube is not receiving a video. This is the issue I was having before. I don't know why it's doing. 1 second. I'm going to figure why this is not working well. That won't help. Let's drop down to that. That helps. Okay, you know what I'm going to do in a second? I think I'm interfering with my internet because I changed it. So let's get lights, be a little blur, and see if that helps. Otherwise I might just action and go about that. Thank you, Mary. Is it working okay? I feel like now it doesn't help. It's still showing an error. Is it working on your end? Every time you change one thing, it's like major technical difficulties, right? So you gotta let me know. Lights back on. You're seeing that in these videos now. So I'm just going to go forward, and if it doesn't work out, you know what? I can. So I'll live later if it doesn't work. Okay. So where was I? What? Okay, Lunchtime Live. Lunchtime Live is my newsletter. I'll tell you all about what's going on in Scraps, and then we'll do a little demo at the end. Today's demo. So in fact, start here with what's going on with Stitches and Scraps. Probably about 2-3 months ago, I showed you this awesome stuff from Esprit. Does these thermal transfer markers. It's sublimation printing, like when people print onto, you know, you get those customizable water tumblers and shirts and stuff like that. A lot of that's done with sublimation. So these are sublimation ink markers. So you can actually draw your own designs just on regular cotton paper and use a heat transfer device to transfer them onto all sorts of different lengths. So artists bring a whole bunch of stuff because here it is, isn't it, Mary? There's always issues with new equipment. I will play next week is better, but hopefully this week will be good enough through. But they sent me all this stuff, including these blanks that are basically coated with, I want to say it's polyester, so that it accepts the sublimation ink. And what I'm going to do is, this looks like not much right now, but a striped bag tag for you. And this is the bag tag, so I'm going to show you how we get there. And I've got a cool method to put it up, so it'll be fun. The reason I'm doing this today is because they just posted my guest post, which is why they sent me all the stuff. I did for them a tag. This was the leftover one. There's 2 in a packet. I did a Let It Snow themed bag tag with like a snow on one side, a snowfall on the other side. As always, if you want to see any of the things I'm talking about, the links to it are in the description on this video. So on this video, you'll see a link on blog post. In that blog post, I have a link to everything I'm planning to talk about. So go there, you'll see it there. Stuff that's going on at Stitches and Scraps. Well, that's coming up. I'll save that for coming up. I mean, what else is going on that's new? It's been a slow week. But, so the RSP, my mind just went blank. The guest post is up right now. The other things, oh yes, that round was about the collection of textured patterns. So you go there, you'll see 20 knit and crochet patterns that are just full of texture that you can knit and crochet. So baubles and popcorns and cables, all that fun stuff. So check that one out. And yeah, that's a bit. So let me do what's coming up. And I tell you when, because it's a mystery crochet along. I am participating in a mystery crochet along with Lynn Motter. You can see all the details. She's just posted on her website, so again, that link is in the blog post. But you can see all the details on her site. she doesn't want us to say when our particular patterns are coming out. I can't tell you the date. I can't tell you anything about the pattern other than it's a Tunisian blanket crochet along, and it'll be out soon. So check out all the details. There are some fabulous giveaways in that crochet along, so check all that. You guys know it. Check it out now because it's going to be all sorts of cool patterns. So now I want to show you the main thing that I wanted to show you, and before we get into the demo. I have here a giant box. Oh, my microphone wasn't in place. Did you guys hear me okay? It was close, but it was very long. Oh my god, this box is so big. Okay, so this box is, I can't even find a spot on my table. I'm hiding, oh, there goes my microphone. I need a bigger table, y'all. If I'm gonna get into stuff. Okay, let's keep it on the floor because I can't do it up here. Alright, that giant box was from We Crochet. We Crochet, like I told you, they are sponsoring, like I told you last week, they are sponsoring the crochet along for 2022 on Stitch Scrap. We're doing a bag along. I'm going to have 6 different bags, and We Crochet sponsoring the whole. They've sent me all the lovely yarn. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to switch this here so that you can see. So this is Mighty Stitch, which is really soft and smooth and shiny. That's one of them. And then this one, Andes, which is great for felt. So there may be a felted bag in the mix. And they sent me rubbings, which are great for color work because you get all the different little game, all the different colors. So, you know, a little hint on what's coming up with that one. Dishy, of course, is like bag yarn. And what else is in here? More wool of the Andes. I've got a bulky, so we'll do a bulky project. Those are all the yarns. Obviously, I have more of them in there. But what you guys really want to see is what they sent me for prizes. I have to inventory all of this, sort it out with which one is going with which project, but I want to show you the stuff that's all going to be parts of the various prizes. So there's the butter hand cream. And this will all be throughout the year, guys. So I'm going to have different prizes for all the different, for each different pattern, I'll have its own prizes. So this one is actually a beginning crochet set. What do they call it? I don't think they've got it here. This is what you're going to throw into your project bag. Basic tool set. That's what they call it. So this is what you throw in your project bag. Has different tools to get your project bag going. All right, I'm showing you my prize, slightly bigger one. So we're going to hold off on that one. But I have the little sketchbook. Okay. And let's see. Lemons are cool. And stitch markers. And this awesome project bag. Because, you know, we're making bags, so we need more bags. And some cute little sticker pins. Look at those. Aren't those adorable? I like the little cat one with the yarn ball. And look, it's a cat with all the different color yarn balls. That's so cool. All right, and we've got some pom-pom makers. Oh, what's this? There's more. Can you tell I'm just now looking at, these are yarn bobbins. That one is going to go with the color work one that I'm doing. And I've got, oh cute, it's a tiny little ruler. I need these. I love these little tiny rulers. But anyway, those plus one other thing, those are that I'm not showing you. Those are the prizes for the crochet along and all the yarns and everything. So I'm going to divide this up, organize it. I know I promised you guys all the info this week and I haven't posted it, and I swear I'm working on it. I have to go through all of this and organize it, and then I will post it. I'm not even going to promise you this week. I'm going to say before Christmas. I promise you the details for this cal will come out before Christmas, so you'll know what yarn you need. It is going to be a mystery cal. So I'll see how I want to handle the materials, right? Because I want to give you enough time to get all the materials you need, but I also don't want to necessarily give away what every project we're doing is. So what I might do is, as we wrap up one, I will give you the materials for the next one. But let me take a look at it. Let me plan it all out. I swear to God, I will get this out to you before Christmas, whatever it takes. I am so behind right now, but I will get it out to you before Christmas. So if there are no questions on any of that, I am gonna jump right into the demo. Who's excited? Okay, so before I get started even talking about it, I am first going to plug in my heat press. And you need, to do this, you need some kind of heating device. This is a craft heat press that I found online. It's like a cheap version of the Cricut one. I got it on Amazon. It's, you know, a knockoff version, but it is basically an iron that gets hotter than an iron. You can definitely use an iron, you just have to press it for longer, that's all. And it may not come out quite as clear with an iron. I definitely get better results with my heat press than I do with my iron, but some of that might be because I'm also impatient. So I don't think with my iron, I think I might not have let it heat up enough, or, you know, let it sit long enough, and that's why I was getting issues. But with the heat press, I don't have that issue because it only takes 1 minute. So I am heating up my heat press. Mine has 3, can you see? You can't see, it's too bright. Oh, there we go. See the 3 little levels? I am going to level 3 and heating it up because it takes a minute while I prepare everything else. And then the other thing you need is some sort of protective surface. Now this is a pad, a like work mat that comes from Artistry that they sent me. So that's the one I'll be using. But you can use anything, you know, an ironing board even is great. So you just want to make sure if you're using something that you're going to use for other projects, cover it with something so it doesn't get icky with ink. All right. So let me jump into how to get this started, and I'm not going to actually do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you all the steps involved. So oh shush, I don't know why my heat press is complaining. Hang on a second. Man, today is the day of technical difficulties, right? Okay, here we go. Let's try you again. There. Okay. So the first thing you do, remember, we're going to design our project on regular paper, which is awesome because if you screw it up, which I do lots of times, then you can redo it. This was actually my 2nd or 3rd attempt. It took me about 4 attempts to figure out what I wanted to do. But the first thing you do is you put your blank down and you trace it. Nice and easy. This tells you where you're going to color your design, right? Then I wanted red and green stripes. Okay, with these white stripes in between. So what I did was I drew the white stripes. I went across here. Let's start there. And it's like almost 3 inches, not quite. It's 2 3/4 inches. So I just kind of decided, you know, just before I hit 2 inches here, I put a stripe. I think I went from here to here, just 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I came down here, made the same marks down here. What did I do from here to here? And then I did the same thing on the other side, and then you draw your guidelines, and you do this all with pencil. Okay, you draw your guidelines in, and that helps you. I'm just gonna pretend I measured, guys. Pretend I did this right. Okay, so you draw your guidelines in, and then you're gonna color your stripes. So that's the easy part, right? Before coloring the stripes, I went ahead and did the guidelines that I'm going to use on the back. So I'm making my corners a little darker here so that I can see them easily on the back, and then I marked where those corners were. You can use a light table too, but I just needed a rough guide of where those corners were. And then I drew some horizontal guidelines, and again I measured, and I went about half-inch marks, I think. But I just drew at 1/2-inch marks, and I measure again, and then, you know, go across. 1/2-inch marks across like this as guidelines, just like that across the full length, right? So when I finished coloring, there's my guidelines. Okay, you can see that. I actually drew some vertical ones but didn't need them. And you can see through where the red and the green have come through. So based on that, I drew these little circles, and you can see how many times I've erased this. But I drew these little circles for where I want my polka dots to be. So now I'm going to put some polka dots in. And I figured out that a fun way to put in empty dots or white dots is with a hole punch, because wherever the paper is punched, wherever there's no paper, there's no ink to transfer. So you end up with the white showing through. So I am going to go ahead and punch, and unfortunately my punch doesn't, I have to fold the paper a little bit because my punch doesn't go deep enough. But I'm going to go ahead and punch in all of these dots. Find where my punch is. There we go, right there. Okay, and what's the best way? Okay, I'm gonna do this row of dots first. Okay, now I need to, I wonder actually if I fold it in half over the center row of dots, I bet I could line these up. Yeah, I bet I could. Okay, so there's my center row of dots. Let's see if I can do all the dots at once. That would be cool. So through both layers. Can you tell I haven't done this one yet? We're just practicing here. Okay. There. And that's good. Oh, were those the dots I wanted? I don't know. Anyway, that works. Those are dots. And let's put in some more polka dots here. I think I drew too many different colors or too many different guidelines, and now I've like screwed up where I wanted my dots, but that's okay. We're gonna go like this and it'll be somewhat random. Let's see how I did. I need another dot. I need another dot up here. Okay, so random selection of dots. This is actually going to be in the center where the cutout is. Nope, that is. I got it upside down. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. If I didn't like it, I could actually redraw it and not transfer it, and it would be fine. But we're going to go ahead and transfer it. So I have my random polka dots, and this is silicone paper. And what this is for is to protect your work surface and protect your iron. So I don't have my scissors handy, so I'm just going to tear off a piece right here. And I'm going to wrap it. Now I have forgotten my silicone tape upstairs. I always forget something every time. So normally I would tape this down. This is a piece of old silicone tape that I have from my last project down here. And I would tape this down like this, you know, fold the little tape and put it on, fold the little tape and put it on the back of my blank and hold it down like that, okay, just to secure it. The heat tape, and that is actually heat resistant tape, will stop any of the ink from transferring, so you don't want to put it anywhere you want your design. And then I would normally tape this down on top, you know, line up the corners approximately where the corners are of that, tape it down on top, which I've forgotten my tape, so I'm just going to hold it and hope for the best. You want to tape it so that it doesn't move, but you know, live video, I forgot it upstairs. So we're going to do it without. So I'm going to hold it like that and then use my heat press to press it on there. Notice that I colored way outside of the lines, and that's because if this shifts even slightly when I apply the heat, I don't want it to not transfer in that area. So I'm putting my heat press on, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on, and now we have to wait 1 minute. So basically the steps, well, oh, let me check the time so I know when it's been 1 minute. Okay, so basically the steps are you're going to trace the outline of your blank so that you have a workspace that you're going to work on. You're going to draw with a pencil where you want to color, right? So in my case I did stripes. And then you're going to punch out with a hole punch anywhere that you don't want the color to transfer to make the polka dots. And once you're done with that, then you're going to use heat tape, which I forgot, but you're going to make what's called a sublimation sandwich. So you tape your blank to the sublimation protective paper, right? Then you put your design on top of it and tape that in place, and then you fold the paper over or put another paper on top if it's too big, and tape that down so that everything is nicely secured and it's not going to move. And then you press it. The different blanks have different instructions for how long you need to press them, and you have to adjust for your heat source. So my heat source is maybe not quite as good as a commercial thermal transfer, heat press. Mine is better than an iron. So if you're using I think on this one it said if you're using a heat press, you go for 60 seconds, so 1 minute, at 400 degrees. I don't know if mine gets up to 400 degrees, so I give it a little bit extra time. And then if you're using an iron, I want to say, and you'd have to check the package, but I want to say it was 3 minutes at the highest setting. It does take longer with an iron. But this has been now, I think, about 60 seconds. I'm going to give it just a few more seconds. There we go. The time flipped. So now let me switch back. And this is the fun part, you guys. Take the heat press off. Look at how dramatically the color changed from before to now, right? That color was so much more dull before, and now you can even see just on the paper how bright it is. And then if we lift off the paper, look at that! I got stripes! So mine was a little crooked because I didn't have the tape. I don't care. I think this looks cute. It's stripes and polka dots, and it's a fun bag tag. You can obviously do it much more exact than I did. Be careful about touching this because it's very, very, very hot. And then remember to turn off your heat press. But the cool part about it is I could make as many mistakes I wanted, right, without ruining the blank, because I could just draw whatever I wanted and then transfer it. Now notice the black lines here. I actually did those with the fine point markers. So I wanted very Christmassy colors. So I used this Nomi Botanicals because I really liked the colors there. And I used that green and that red. Okay, and that's what they came out as, and you can see from the color what they kind of look like. So that was what I used, but then I wanted to define the edge, and I wanted to add a little shading and stuff, so I played around with the thin line marker on this set of black. This one comes with, most of the markers come in chisel tip, but this comes with round and fine point as well. So I used the fine point there to draw the lines, and then the hole punch made the polka dots. If I was doing it, not on a live video and more professionally, if I wanted it to look absolutely perfect, I would probably put a light table or something behind it while I was making my sublimation sandwich so that I'd be sure to get this all lined up just perfectly with the edges. I didn't care. This is just a fun project for Christmas, and I think it looks better for that purpose when it's kind of looks handmade, and kind of crooked and stuff. So this is now cool enough for me to handle. It's not cool by any means, it's actually pretty hot, but I want to show you how to attach this. So you stick this through, and then you just pull one end of it through the other end and slide it down like that. And now you can hang this anywhere you want to, and it's great for wrapping. If you want, you could even, on another piece of paper, write a note, like, to Dad, love Pia, a Merry Christmas, whatever you wanted, and then transfer that right onto it. You have the fine point markers here and the chisel tip, so you can do any design you want. And that is the bag tag. So any questions on that? I know I rushed through it pretty quickly. If you want to see a more exacting, I guess, project with it, check out my blog post that I did for them with the Let It Snow bag tags. That one is a lot more precise, a lot more professional looking. This would be kind of a fun quickie that I would do at home just for, a gift. But the other cool thing about this, kids can do this, okay? Even little kids, they might need some help with the heat press part, but I had a couple of kids over. One was, oh gosh, they're gonna kill me if I get the ages wrong. I wanna say the little one is 5 and the older one is just turned 9 or just turning 9. or 8. He might be 8. I don't know. Anyway, they came over and they made themselves some little key tags that they attached to their backpacks, and they just scribbled with the markers, and they the older one actually drew his name on it and stuff like that, and they attached that to their backpack, and they turned out so cute. So definitely something anybody can do, even little kids. And that is it for the demo. Does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to see next week? Otherwise, I think I'm all wrapped up, and I will just say bye. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next week.